what we look like. No, we're going live into the match. Okay, here it is, the finals. 220 players go in.
Woo!
One player comes out. The winner is going to take 3 Underground Seas. I believe the loser is still going to take home 2 Tundras and rethink their life choices. At least. So Pablo Carrasco on the left side and Pedro Dores on the right side, both playing the Scaminator. Pablo on the play, going first with a Ponder. And Rodrigo actually taught me something interesting, because I noticed that Javi Dominguez was always going for Surveillant over Ponder if he could. And basically the idea was that the Surveillant drops off in value quite a lot the longer the game goes. But Ponder is better, like even in the mid and the late game, right? So he'd rather use his first turn, where it's like a very low opportunity cost, which is like not casting Ponder. That's like a very low opportunity cost to get the maximum value out of the Surveillant. And sometimes you get like the oops-all win by putting a creature into the yard and like reanimating it on the next turn. Not in this game, of course, because Pedro could be reanimating it right away.
Yeah.
But that's the thinking, right? That if we have some kind of educational mission to some degree, like maybe somebody's not only going to go home and be like, hey, Legacy is amazing, Legacy is great, and I want to do it. Maybe they're also going to be like, hey, I watched this and I learned something. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Nah. We knew about this. Ponder draw. Reanimate, that's the juicy one. Okay, that's also troll. But again, make sure to not give the opponent the possibility to reanimate one of your stuff.
So honestly, I would think there's probably going to be a lot of calm going on right now for the players, just because nobody really wants to be the one to shoot first. But if you have like a lot of proactive stuff, then you might be forced into like shooting first, just by trying out your reanimate, see whether it's gonna work. But Pablo's just sitting tight, doesn't want to run to a daze here. Smart. Dude, how often have I seen that specific swamp today? Feels like Pedro has also been like in half of our feature matches by now.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, it has a couple of options. There's the frog. There's also animate that for the troll, which is really nice if it works out. Has a force and daze protection. So there is a good chance that whatever he plays is gonna resolve here.
I thought he might go for the animator. I didn't see the frog there. In which case Pablo would probably like be more than happy, because he has Brazen Borrower. That would help him out a lot there. So, cutting the deck, sending it back. There's a Surveil. Keeping it on top. No, we don't want that Wasteland. Picking up now Fetchland there. Polluted Delta is the play for the turn. And are we going to try out our reanimate now? Is this... Oh, just bouncing the frog? I don't hate that. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
do you force this?
You max a little more on your mana.
I don't hate forcing this, honestly. But don't pitch Daze. I think I want to keep Daze. But I really like forcing this. I don't know. Because you also, like, you don't get the adventure thingy going on. You also, like, you think, okay, I go down a card because I force. But then in return, you also draw a card next turn.
Yeah, if you
so
get
you
to connect
make
the
up for
frog.
that, and you get some tempo out of it, because you still keep the frog on the table.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
Like the frog is also like a really nice discard outlet, you know, at instant speed.
if you need it, yeah. Let's see. Pedro following suit. Another fetchland for him. And frog comes back down again. Pablo is probably gonna get, like, if he actually ends up playing the second Surveillant, like some of them actually do, maybe this is where he eventually wants to get it. Don't feel like there's anything else he might want to do on the opponent's turn here. Yeah, you got the frog, resolves. And now it's up to Pedro. Like, he kind of wants to play the Ponder, of course, but he also knows that he might need to daze. And then if the opponent dazes back, then that's a terrible position. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Ooh, is that a beta Underground Sea? We can't really tell, right? There are so many like black bordered unlimited ones. These days I don't trust anyone anymore. Not with regards to like trying to trick me, but trying to trick me as a viewer. Okay, so we're gonna cycle that troll. Probably gonna pick up another underground sea or maybe no. Okay, basic lands. Okay, okay. That's also like probably like an alpha beta basic swamp.
Might be. Yeah, I don't know if you need the fourth land in this matchup. Like you could have also like kept the troll in hand for a future grief, so you can pitch it to grief. You know. I guess on the other hand, though, like if you can hardcast grief, that's also a somewhat acceptable. It's not the the most like thrilling play ever, but
I think I like it because I don't really want to like use grief unless I'm going for like a killing shot. And here looks like that's what we're actually doing. We're leading on the grief because we might want to make sure that our reanimate is going to be good. I'm not honestly not too big of a fan because that's just like even if we have the grief, there's still too much that can go wrong. Here we do we actually know that this is going to work out because we can take the force if we want to, but then again, of course, there's also the option of brainstorm and response. But do we have the daze? I think Pablo doesn't have a daze, does he? I think he's got nothing else to for protection really. Nope. But it is going to work for him. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, look at this hand. This hand is stacked.
Yeah, but doesn't do anything. Like the troll comes into play now. Unless, of course, oh, we're doing this. Oh, this is like so many levels beyond my understanding. I need to get to the blue-black school of scamming.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So we are gonna take out. I mean, okay, actually, now that I think about... Wait, is that troll in the graveyard? Oh, one was pitched, the other one's in the graveyard from cycling earlier. Okay, that makes more sense now, because I thought there was just like a single troll in the graveyard, and Pablo was going to animate that out of Pedro's graveyard. But since Pablo also had put a troll into the graveyard at the end of turn earlier on, now Pedro would be able to get that one, and then it's kind of like parity again, and
that's
you don't want that. So let's keep Pedro all the cards that we want him to have, like the Dazes, the Force of Worlds, that we in the long run can play around. But big problem is still the frog, right? What are we gonna try to draw to take out the frog there? Feather push, maybe? I think so.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's one option. Yeah,
I think that's one of the best ones. But we still know that Pedro has Force of Will in hand. Honestly, like the more that I think into it, I hate being in Pedro's spot. Okay, so wailing here once more. Ponder, don't want that. You already got enough card draw. We want business. Land, I don't hate that. Starting out on the Ponder. I'm curious when or whether Pedro will ever start committing to the frog. In the sense that he's this kind. I don't think that's actually something that happens here anytime soon.
Okay. Happy with what he sees.
Also, by the way, chat was asking you should definitely target the opponent's troll. It's actually interesting. Like if the opponent has a frog out and you try to reanimate from their graveyard, that's not going to work at all, right? Because they actually just like eat their own troll, and then your reanimation spell fizzles. So you better be reanimating from your own graveyard.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point. As long as there's a frog out, you don't want to touch the opponent's graveyard.
Okay, there we. Is that gonna be? Double checking on a couple of things here. So what do you actually do? This is actually crazy how full the graveyard already is. Yeah, I feel like if you're the one being attacked by the frog for so many turns, where did things actually go wrong for Pablo? Like he griefed, which is always like a bad spot if you have to like pitch grief. You don't want like in this kind of matchup you don't want to pitch grief. You don't want to like force of will. You want cards that do something, and turns out Pedro's the one who actually ended up having a card that does something. Frog going to town hard. Also, Baleful Strix, not really an important card right now, but like convenient card to have.
Yeah, it's nice in those frog mirrors. Pedro probably wouldn't mind draw like a reanimation spell here. There should be like a troll in the graveyard.
Okay, now Pedro not even scared of days anymore. Just gonna run this guy out and asking Pablo all the questions. Pablo just passes. It's like, yeah, you know what, I can't win.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, there was never a proper game plan that really materialized on Pablo's side of the board, right? For a moment I thought like he could get the troll, but of course he couldn't because of the frog. And also there was a second frog. That's why the Grief had to take the animate dead when we thought it might actually take the Force of Will. So feels like he never really was in it all that much. And now both players are checking out the opponent's deck list because from what I understand, this is actually open deck list.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. So both players can actually see what's going on each side. It would be funny if they actually played the exact same 75. Like maybe same sideboard plan, everything. It's just like, yeah, easy game. I know exactly what you're going to do. Yeah, sorry for the lag on the stream right now. Probably not too much we can do about that right now. But if you want to rewatch that, if like in your location it's not too good, you can also check it out later in the coming days, probably by the latest next week on YouTube. There's Impact Returns, the YouTube channel, and you can rewatch all of those amazing games that we had over the weekend. And there's still more to come. Tomorrow there's going to be the Modern main event. If you haven't signed up for that, there's still some time to grab an overnight flight, or maybe even you got your private helicopter or something. Show up for that. Otherwise, it's not going to be Kai and me. There's going to be a Spanish stream tomorrow for the Modern main event. Check that out here. And let your friends know about this. This is a community-driven tournament. We have I've never seen a tournament with this many volunteers. Just like being happy to be here, making food for people, like just like making sure that everything works, and putting in so much of their own time.
Yeah, lots of energy here in Spain.
This is actually why I wanted to be here in the first place, right? When
absolutely.
I first heard about this, when Inigo told me about this, Runecore, you might have heard him. Check out his stream, by the way, if you like elves, especially if you like elves. He told me a little bit about this tournament, Impact Returns, when we came here last year. And I was like, oh, this sounds so amazing. I want to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the second year running.
It was great last year, but it's even better this year.
Yeah, yeah.
It's even better. They have more side events. They are more professional. Like the whole setup, you know.
Yeah, the only thing that wasn't upgraded is the commentators for the Legacy
event. Oh,
event.
yeah, they were the same idiots from last year. No updates on them.
Well, we tried for a couple of rounds, right? We switched you out for Rodrigo Dores. What freeware update we're hearing from production? Okay. So, both players still. So, going back to how you're supposed to play this match, I was told you want a lot of removal. You want some graveyard hate, not too much. And I could see that you're going to take out stuff that 2-for-1s you. Like, I don't know if you take out Grief, but maybe you can still hardcast it. But it's a kind of awkward thing where you don't want to force a full, but if the opponent fully commits to the combo, then all of a sudden maybe you do want to force a full. Chat is asking, this is going to be a best of 3. So we got Pedro up a game, Pablo trying to equalize things in the upcoming second game now of this 220-player tournament. 30% more players than the previous year. Thank you so much, everybody, for the turnout. Also, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know how you like this. Shoutouts to the sponsors, the City of Neron, as well as Ultimate Guard, making all of this possible. If you like Ultimate Guard, let them know that you like that they make Impact Returns possible for all of us. Like, remove 80% of what's happening here. That's something, you know, we wouldn't be able to do. We wouldn't be able to have, like, backup feature matches and stuff. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Also, like you, right? Everybody in here who's just like letting their friends know, sending messages, text messages, WhatsApps, whatever it is.
Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. Oh man, you know, like, what should I say?
People are asking whether you are Kai Budde.
No, I'm
not exactly, right?
I'm the second best Kai in this game.
You know, it still blows my mind that when Kai won the World Championship in Tokyo in 1999, you were there.
I think I was there, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was in Tokyo. I didn't know anything about Magic. I was still a baby.
Yeah.
Very young.
Very young? Weren't you like 6 years old or something at that point?
Yeah.
That's still a baby? Okay, never mind.
It's kind of like a in-between baby, yeah.
Yeah. You know, when my niece was like 1.5 years old, it was very important for her that she's not a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you looked to her and you said baby, she's like,
nope.
No baby.
Manager.
Manager of the entire place, yeah. You know, sometimes these days it feels like she's the manager of the entire place.
All right, let's see who's the manager of this game here.
Pablo leading out. Oh, that's interesting.
Look at this, how lovely. A grief.
Yeah, Fatal Push seems like one of your really good cards. Okay, let's see what kind of strategy he's gonna go for in this game. Baleful Strix is so annoying, right? That feels like a card that was made for this kind of matchup.
Yeah, except that it doesn't really block Grief and Troll of Khazad-dûm. Like, it'd be so good if it could also block Grief and Troll of Khazad-dûm. It blocks Frog very nicely.
That's the big thing, right? That's why I wanted. No matter how big Frog is, Baleful Strix is always going to trade for it and come out like ahead.
Yeah.
That's what I love about that one. So what's going on there? We got a reanimate. Okay, so Pablo wants to do the scam opening, and he's free to do it. He sees. Okay, interesting. We're going to take the animate that. Ooh. Basically, doesn't really change anything for Pedro, unless, of course, you also want to take the second animate dead.
Yeah, I like that. Like Pablo's basically, you know what? Yeah, just keep the hand open, you know.
Yeah. You know what's happening, my friends.
Yeah. Dude, I'm not messing around.
Gonna start the game at 15 here.
So I'd be very surprised if he doesn't take the second animate dead here. I think.
I kind of want to take the ponder here, but if you start taking the animate dead, then I think
you gotta stick to your plan.
Oh, Fatal Push. Oh, is there like a fetch land? No, there's not a fetch land, right? To enable the Fatal Push on the Grief yet. Are we just gonna surveil here? Help me out again. Fatal Push. If you surveil a permanent into your graveyard, that doesn't make it kill 4 stuff, right? We can just like look up here.
I gotta check what Revolt does. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's also an interaction that doesn't really come up all that much.
Yeah, because Revolt is a little different than Descent. Because it says if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn.
Left the battlefield. So it's not about like putting something in the grave, it's about left the battlefield. Okay. Okay, that makes sense then.
Oh yeah, I remember that. There were a lot of different scenarios. Like people started to like Carraccusing their own creatures, you know, to get a revolt trigger. That was the thing once.
Also, if you dazed, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, pick up an island. Yeah, Fatal Push your Thought-Knots. Yeah.
Did Pablo, by the way, try to daze Pedro's ponder and then Pedro dazed back? Looks like it, right? Okay, so both players resetting 0 lands in play. Pedro sees an animate dead on top, 2 of which are already been discarded by Pablo, but that's not really a proper game plan that you have there. But you're also not under crazy pressure. Like, yeah, 3 a turn is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, there's a fetch land. Okay. Yeah, just take 3. I don't hate this position for Pablo, even though I'm... Yeah, let's see. There have been so many polluted deltas in this tournament. It's been a while since I've seen so many of those. Like Legacy for like many years used to be the Scalding Tarn format, right? Scalding Tarn all the way, and these days
polluted delta used to be like a little bit of a cosmetic thing, you know, you add it to your deck. I think polluted delta is it's probably the coolest fetch land.
It very much is.
So like the OG one, especially the good old Rob Alexander land, it looks filthy. Blue-black is also a really cool color combination. Like, you can say whatever you want about Grief, but, man, Underground Seas, blue-black, that's... I mean, you know, this is exactly my jam, at least.
Yeah, when I started playing, blue-black was considered, like, the coolest and also most powerful. Underground Sea was the most expensive dual land at 20 euros.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Like, all the other dual lands, like, the non-blue dual lands, they were, like, 12 euros. And then the blue ones were, like, I don't know, 16 to 18, and then Underground Sea was always, like, 20, and Force of Will was 20. Those were, like, the expensive cards.
Yeah. You know, if you compare, like, if you have, like, Delta... And next to it, there's like Arid Mesa, you know?
Yeah. Oh no! Don't get me started on Arid Mesa. What? Marsh Flats? Like no, sorry, dude. No,
Marsh Flats? Nope. Not today, my friend.
So let's see what Pedro's going to be up to. He still hasn't decided yet. Does he want to surveil and take another hit from the Grief? It's kind of awkward if you play a tap land against the Wasteland if you're behind on board, but maybe that's just what you want to do. Keeps it on top.
Might be a creature.
You mean maybe like a frog or something? Yeah. Okay, Pablo's like, you know, I have a plan, and that plan is turning sideways every single turn while making land drops and stopping you from doing stuff. It's like, yeah, sure. That's what it says on the guide.
Yeah. Very Delver-esque, this game.
Yeah. But also, let's not forget, Pablo only has 3 cards in hand. That's not exactly great. We see a Brazen Borrower, we see a Daze, and we see Fatal Push. Like, it's basically the kind of stuff you want to clear a path for your Grief to get there. But in the absence of creatures, like the Grief is not going to be blocked anytime soon. It's much more in danger of eventually being Fatal Pushed here. Which, I mean, Pedro knows he can do that, and he's just trying to find the perfect spot to do it. Might actually be now. You need to crack your fetch them first, of course, to actually kill it. Or does he want to run out the frog? Dude. Let's see. Is that just a pass? Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
I like it when like there's tons of options, and then eventually the player decides to do nothing, because that feels like, oh, they must have found like a really good line there.
Yeah, I could definitely see like an end of turn crack delta, fatal push the Grief, untap, animate it.
Or like play a land and slam the frog.
Yeah, something like
that. Bowmaster's in there as well. Hello. But Bowmasters can take out the Grief, right? No, we just take the damage.
Yeah, it's a little annoying because it has menace. But
yeah, but you trade the card Bowmasters for it, right? That's how it would work. Of course, against Fatal Push, it would. Okay. There's many levels.
It is tempting. There's a pawn down this deck. It is definitely tempting to run out this Bowmaster.
Of course, what we know, it's gonna get dazed.
Yup.
Also, yeah, Pedro's down to 8 life. You better start doing something now, right? He's been very patient, and I like that. But like, you don't really want to spend your turn not spending your mana now, right? So yeah, that one's probably gonna get dazed.
Oh yeah, that was one of the fastest dazes.
Okay. Now the Ponder's gonna resolve. Then of course, if Pedro can trigger Revolt on his main phase, then he's rather safe-ish to kill the Grief, and then build his own board with the card advantage that he has. Hearse.
Hey, look at this. A
It's
licensed hearse, ladies and gentlemen. Like, we saw this card a couple of times through the day, also yesterday, and every time we saw it on screen, it did like a lot more than we thought it would do. It keeps both graveyards completely in check. It can be a win condition. You can also randomly pump your Murktide if you have one.
Oh yeah, you're right. You can just like remove instant sorceries and just randomly punk the Murktide during combat.
You know, like, yeah, this is like something I learned in Modern, in the Murktide Mirror. You side in the hearses and you stop pumping your Murktides mid-combat, which is kind of messy.
I like how you said Murktides.
Yeah,
It's just like, okay, that's a completely different game that's going on there compared to that then. Okay, finally, that Grief that did something like 15 damage, almost, spiting the dust. And this is the moment that Pedro has been working towards for, I want to say, like 3 turns by now. He's reversing the initiative, quote unquote, to see what's going on there. Okay. Also, like, there's an unlicensed hearse. That means that you can actually get a license for a hearse. I mean, you probably should, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be very weird. And also, from now on, the hearse is not going to really grow anymore. Like, unless Pedro's like, you know what, just take those 2 cards, I don't care. Because he can also just counter the activation with the frog.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like, killing someone with unlicensed hearse is like the like the extra like cream on top, I think. That's not the purpose of the card. I think as long as cards can be exiled in graveyards, then at least you don't get any like shady business, right?
Yeah, this is looking so good for Pedro. Actually, no, it's not anymore because there's the hearse in play. But I still like the Baleful Strix, the Grief that we got in hand there. Not too excited about that one, but maybe we can eventually hardcast it.
Wow.
Yeah, Force of Negation.
Force of Negation.
Yeah, but doesn't feel like a card I want in the mirror in the first place. Maybe because he's on the draw, so I can see that idea. He's like, let me check this out. I'm going to remove 2 of those cards. So the funny thing is, if Pedro actually goes on offense with the Baleful Strix, which he might need to, I'm not too sure. If Pablo somehow like gets a creature, even if it's just like a frog and you discard something, and you can activate the hearse, you are putting Pedro close to death then.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's basically like a hasty attacker.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like once it's like my license hearse is a 6/6 or has 6 cards exiled, you cannot attack anymore. It's just too risky. I think like correct me if I'm wrong, but I think even if you pitch Grief, evoke it, I think you can still crew your license hearse, right? Yeah, in response to the
you can crew at instant speed.
Yeah.
That's gonna work. Wait, we are reanimating something? What are we gonna go for? Do you want frog? Or do you want Grief? I want Grief, it seems like. Okay, check this out. I got a lot of cards and don't really do all that much. You probably take the Grief, right?
You could take the Grief.
I think it's the only thing that really makes sense.
I also don't hate Force of Negation because that can like there's a hard cost for Force of Negation maybe next turn for your Petty Theft. It could be something.
But the thing is, like you're already winning on board hard, like really hard with the Grief. And if Pedro draws a land and can like cast the Grief, then all of a sudden he can block the Grief. Whereas right now, by the way, could Pedro have attacked there with the hearse? But of course he didn't want to. Yeah. Because we see the animate dead in Pedro's hand. So Pablo couldn't attack with the hearse there. Looks like he picked up a reanimate. Is that it? No, must be something else, I guess. No, it's a reanimate, right? Unless this is another promo that I'm not aware of. But I feel like these kind of promos, they seem to be reanimates most of the time. Okay, moving 2 cards from your graveyard. Turn. Now I got a pretty big hearse. And now, you know, it's just gonna hit you for 3. You were talking about the idea, right, of Petty Theft on the Baleful Strix, and then we hit for lethal in case we take the Force of Negation.
Yeah.
I see that.
Oh wow, is that Grief gonna go the distance here?
Looks like it. Got it down on the first turn.
Wow.
Looks like it's actually gonna go all the way to force the 3rd game. Pablo's like, yeah, you still have to Force of Negation. But yeah, you definitely have to Force of Negate that. Yeah. Most importantly, because you don't get the adventure creature. Like otherwise, I don't think you wouldn't. Oh, it's Pablo's turn. Yeah,
Pablo has it. You know, all he gotta do is turn that Grief sideways.
He's like, no, let me double check. Maybe I got more relevant cards here. Brainstorm to 2 more Brainstorms and Control of Khazad-dûm.
Sure.
Lots of Portuguese people
the
cheering
last
here in
double
chat.
check, and that will. Damn, that caused the concession.
Moving on to the 3rd game.
1-1, though, dude. This is exciting. Oh wow, we get to see a game number 3 between those 2 Scam Reanimator decks.
Yeah, nobody can accuse them of not putting on a show.
That's beautiful. We get to see more Griefs now, and I'm here for it.
One of that's gonna see. By the way, if you look at the sideboard, Pedro took out, I feel like, all the forces and a lot of Entombs. I feel like that's the way to go. Took out 4 forces. Maybe they're gonna come back in. I don't think so. He's really just committing to the combo mid-range life. Okay, so Pedro taking another look at the sideboard. None of those cards that he really wants. Pablo already shuffling up for the final game. once again, reminder, both players are already qualified for the European Legacy Masters in Bologna later this year.
They are.
But they are still fighting for the first prize of 3 Underground Seas. And of course, the glory, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Winning one of the biggest Legacy tournaments of the year, taking home the trophy and everything. Yeah, like, this is how legends are born.
Yeah, there's a big trophy on the line.
Pablo versus Pedro.
You can't split a trophy.
Chad, from everything you've seen, do you think Pedro's going to win or Pablo's going to win? I mean, the easy call is like the one on the play, right? That's a Savatarix kind of answer.
That was exactly my answer, yeah. So in the second game, like we saw it already, right? Like not a lot of reanimate, animate that stuff. There was the graveyard hate. I think the first creature that hit the graveyard was the Oakish Bowmasters on like in somewhere in the mid game. I don't know how much those players commit to the reanimations plan, but rather focus on a fair, like on a quote unquote fair frog.
I think
Bowmaster hard cost grief kind of plan.
I think that whole reanimation thingy is like super incidental. It's not like something you really go for just because it's so problematic. So you keep those animate deads, you keep maybe some of the reanimates, if not all of them. But I could see like maybe the way to go is like you take out some of your big hitters and also your entombs, and you just rely on your, you get grief into the graveyard the natural way, you get troll into the graveyard the natural way. Maybe you even reanimate your opponent's frog. Maybe that's the kind of reanimation you're doing, but you're not going full out balls to the wall reanimation.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, creatures die every day.
Yeah, creatures die every day and you don't care, right? So why would you care about them all of a sudden? Just because, did you know that every time I clap, a troll dies on the battlefield? Yeah, then stop fucking clapping. I know, that's one of my favorite jokes, but it's okay. Both players still not fully decided on their opening hands, but Pedro, starting out Underground Sea Go. Is this going to be Wasteland?
Welcome everyone. This is the very last Legacy game you get to see tonight. This weekend, actually, yeah, because there's going to be a lot of modern content tomorrow. I'm just so happy to be here with you, Julian, from the Everyday Eternal podcast.
I'm not happy to be here with you, Kai. I wish this would be Callum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
love you too. Yeah. Love you too, buddy.
This is a 220 player event. We increased our attendance to a record level. We've been through almost like 20 rounds of Legacy between yesterday and today. Yesterday we crowned the Spanish Legacy champion. Today we are going to crown the Impact Returns Legacy champion. One of the biggest Legacy tournaments of the year. An amazing trophy, by the way. If you haven't seen it out, check it out on Twitter. It's going to be up there either already or like in the next couple of days. And that's an end-of-turn brainstorm. Or is it? Or maybe we're doing it main phase, in which case it would be a lot less sensational.
You know, like the whole venue, it's like all, quiet, calm. Most players have left already. For like dinner and something, but like the hardcore crew is still here, a couple of the friends of the competitors here. I do enjoy the silence, yeah. It's a lot of concentration.
Okay, let's see. Is Brainstorm the card that people spend the most time on in Legacy out of all the commonly played cards?
After Ad Nauseam, yeah.
Really? You think people spend a lot of time Ad Nauseam? Like on average, yes. Yeah. But like combined throughout the tournament, it's actually probably going to be fetch lands,
You said like commonly play, like we didn't see a single Ad Nauseam.
Oh, that's true. And honestly, I'm not even sure.
We didn't see a single Doomsday. We didn't see a single Ad Nauseam. What's wrong with you people?
Do you know that, like, when you're in a relationship and it like falls apart, like Kai is like, no, I never had that. Anyway, and you realize at some point, oh, actually, it hasn't existed for like a while now. We just need to give it a name.
Yeah.
Which is like breaking up. This is right now the moment where I realize this happening between Ad Nauseam and the Legacy format.
Oh.
I think Legacy and Ad Nauseam, they have broken up. I don't think Ad Nauseam is a legacy card anymore.
Oh man, that sounds it sounds so rough when you say it like that.
I mean, that's what they always say when you say it, but it's the truth. It's gonna take a while to settle in.
Don't say it like that.
Yeah, see, that's why am I having this conversation again? Anyway, a card that wasn't a legacy card for quite a long time and now came back is Baleful Strix on the side of Pedro Dores. It's basically your counterpart to Frog, even shares some of the color scheme.
Yeah, I don't remember like who said it on Twitter the other day, but like someone said if Baleful Strix is a playable card in Legacy, then Legacy is safe. Which is a little bit of a controversial statement, I think, now that you look at this final game.
That's interesting. I always had like Julian's rule, which I coined myself, which I guess makes it corny. And that is, if you can play Knight of Reliquary in Legacy and not be embarrassed about it, then Legacy is in a good place.
Oh, thank God you didn't say Vendilion Click. Okay, cool.
Rock Swarmonk, anyone?
Rock Swarmonk, anyone?
Pancake Flipper.
Nope.
Turn 1, Noble Hierarch. Turn 2, Rock Swarmonk. Crack in for 4 on the third turn. Gain 4 life.
Still flipping.
Chi, guys. Like, Grief got nothing on that.
Talking about the Grief here, you got a couple of options. There is, like, this hand is pretty loaded. We got the Frog, which is probably like the #1 predator. Another Baleful Strix. We can almost call it like a cantrip, sort of. And then 2 removal spells of some sort, you know, like Petty Theft, Brazen Borrower, and Murderous Cut. Both pretty potent.
I think there's 2 options, right? You take either one of the creatures. If you have a removal spell, you take the Baleful Strix, just because it's super annoying that they get to draw a card. If you don't have a removal spell, I think you have to take the Frog, and you just bite the bullet of the opponent getting the second Baleful Strix. Okay. So I think we saw a Brazen Borrower at least in hand for Pablo. So maybe that's the removal spell he's going to be relying on. But no, okay. I like that.
How about some more Grief action?
That's
a baby one though. That's just a 2/2.
Yeah, but even baby, like baby cobras, they can strike and kill you.
They can.
That's what it does right now.
Just takes a little longer.
I actually have no idea how long it takes for a cobra to kill you. You sounded like somebody who's like super knowledgeable.
Dude, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, man, just takes a little longer. I was like, yeah.
See it every day.
I've been through the bush like all my life.
I've been bitten, 10 times
every morning I get bitten by the cobra, so I can like develop immunity and something.
Yeah, that's how we met.
You know, every day people suck my blood so they can like not die from cobra bites. Yeah, you can tell that this has been 20 rounds for us in the last 2 days.
So chat, please, everyone who's watching, please bear with us. If like sometimes we everything that goes out of your mouth, our mouth is like boo boo beep beep gaga stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the removal spell we talked about. I kind of figured that must be somewhere in the cards for Pablo. We're gonna take out the Frog, and Pedro on the other side. He's interesting. He could basically use his entire hand to protect the Frog. He's got the Force of Negation and then the pitch Brazen Borrower, which leaves him with really not all that much, but maybe that's the idea, because it's really hard to make Force of Negation work, and maybe Pablo even made a mistake by not using the removal spell on Pedro's upkeep. Yeah, I don't know. There's like a lot of stuff going into that. Obviously, like Pablo also has a couple of he wants to know whether it resolves in the first place. Oh, is that a Voidwalker on the very left?
I think so, yeah.
Ooh, that's a sweet card. We can't cast it yet. We don't have a second black, but we haven't seen a Voidwalker all day long, and I kind of want to see it in action. It's one of my pet cards that I still always die to, but I still appreciate it.
Yeah, you told me those stories of playing Penta versus.
I think I had like 3 legacy challenges in a row where I lost to like Voidwalker out of Black Red Reanimator. Just because I had all the Graveyard Hate in that world. But what can you do? They just get me with that 3/2. Okay, so Pedro decided, I'm the Frogman now. He puts on his frog suit, the Mario frog suit, which actually lets you like jump and like swim really fast underwater. Yeah. And this is the classic game of like, okay, right side of the board we got kind of tempo. It's not even great tempo. Tempo that doesn't convert into like life total lead, but tempo that converts into like card advantage lead. And on the left side, we got not a whole lot, but way more cards right now. So the longer the game goes and the frog keeps connecting, the better for Pedro. So Pablo is gonna try to do something rather quickly. He's going to be exposed for a single turn, but then going into the next turn, he's going to have the Brazen Borrower to bounce the frog by a little bit more time.
Yeah, you can say anything you want about Grief, but this game, I've been enjoying this, especially this game 3 a lot. Like Baleful Strix versus a Grief that's a 2/2. You have a Psychic Frog, Wastelands, removal spells. This is it feels kind of like not. I don't want to say 2018 because that's like maybe a little stretching it, but.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. I very much know what you're saying. Yeah.
It is not a haha. I have a turn 2 Archon of Cruelty and you're dead. GG type of game. In fact, we have not seen Archon or Atroxa in all of the games, I think we want to say.
Yeah. I enjoy these post-book games a lot where people like side out a lot of their like really broken stuff and they play like a proper mid-range sealed plus thing. But with that, thank you so much, by the way. Anurag Das, NCD, MTG, sending us over 155 viewers. Welcome. My name is Julian Knapp. This is Kaiser Vatari. We are here in the final game of the final match of the Legacy Tournament here at the Impact Returns main event. 220 people go in. 2 scam decks meet in the finals. One of them comes out victorious, winning 3 copies of Underground Sea, 2 copies of Tundra for the loser, and both players already qualified for the European Legacy Masters.
Nice. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Anu. Love you guys.
Yeah. If you ever wanted to come to Spain, this is one of the best reasons to make it work, right? We are here in Galicia in the northwest of Spain. We have a full guide up on the website how to get here because it's like... It's not like the big city, Madrid, right? You're like here out in the countryside. We had an amazing time by the sea. Like on Friday, we went to a country house. We're like, okay, this way is the sea, that way is the sea, and in front of you, there's the barbecue. It's just like, yeah, sign me up. Second time running, we come around for this. And we are ready to crown the Legacy main event champion after already crowning the Spanish Legacy national champion. Playing Death in Texas yesterday.
Yep.
Hey, bringing it back.
Guys, you definitely got to rewatch that from yesterday. Finals was Lance versus Death in Texas. Like a matchup that you probably haven't seen in a while. It was a lot of land destruction, I think, on both sides. Definitely worth watching.
Yeah, land destruction has been like the theme of this entire tournament, right?
Yeah, dude. This weekend is like, I think if, they did this like back in the day at GPs where they mentioned like,
the most played cards and everything?
The most played card, like the most hyped cards, I think.
Oh, yeah, like the top 5 cards of the tournament that told a story, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If there's like the top 1 card of this weekend, it's probably Wasteland. It's not even close.
Okay, actually, let's try that as the players are trying to figure this out. What are our like top 3 cards that told a story this weekend? I think Wasteland is up there. Psychic Frog gotta be up there,
Psychic Frog right? was dominating.
Yeah, and also Eldrazi Flashraker.
I would honestly vote for Mystic Forge.
Oh, come on. Mystic Forge was always like late to the party. Like everything was already like you won the game and like, oh, by the way, there's also Mystic Forge.
That was like so yesterday.
Yeah. But yeah, we saw a lot of it. That's true. So here we go. Players already decided, okay, we're gonna Wasteland once again, Speak of the Devil. And that's gonna be is that a troll? It's kinda hard to see, but I think it's a troll that got reanimated. So we reanimated the troll over there, and now Pedro is like asking a lot of questions out of Pablo. Pablo has been like sitting there with his card advantage lead, but he hasn't really been able to convert it. And as we said, right, as Pablo passed back, this is the last turn that Pedro can really make something happen because now Pablo, I'm so sorry. Pablo on the left side of the screen is using Brazen Borrower to probably like bounce Troll now, which of course means that Psychic Frog is still free to crash in there. I like how Pedro like keeps adding problems to the board, right? Because that's how you win the tempo game.
Yeah, definitely. Like he's behind on life, but he has like so much more in the battlefield. That Grief, it can chip in for a couple of points here and there, but I really like this Bowmaster. Damn.
Bowmaster coming down, taking out the Baleful Strix.
It almost reminds me of like why Baleful Strix vanished for a bit.
So what's that gonna be? That's gonna be another Psychic Frog and a Brainstorm. Oh yeah, we've been enjoying Galicia a lot. A lot. But when we landed in Madrid, it was like 37 degrees, right? Like we were getting actual warnings on our phone, like don't step outside, the sun is gonna murder you. There's somebody out there to kill you with like the cosmic death rays. Then you arrive at Galicia, it's like 22 degrees, chill. Amazing place. We found this amazing breakfast place. Hit us up next time you come here. We already have like a lot more international participators. We want to grow this even more. So if you have any kind of questions about this tournament, hit us up. But yeah, the travel guide that they put up on the website is pretty extensive. Even Callum found his way from the airport to the site.
And that means something.
Yeah, he was like the test run, right?
Oh, definitely.
If they can make it work, then we can bring in like a blind and deaf old lady who's never been outside her house or something. Yeah, okay. So we are adding a second frog to the board. And Pablo still not up to a lot here. Like we got the Bowmaster out last turn. Who do you think is the beatdown here now?
It kind of depends on if the petty theft resolves here. I think it probably does. Okay, very nice.
Sending out the ferry onto an adventure, reclaiming your own troll.
Yeah, life totals are almost equal. The frogs are the scariest things on the battlefield right now. Pedro doesn't have a lot of cards in hand. Like he can't like grow them like crazy.
Voidwalker, dude. I feel like this keeps swinging back and forth, and that's usually like the hallmark of a great game.
Okay.
Where when you watch it, you can't decide who's actually ahead, even though we're 8 or 9 turns into the game.
Yeah. But I mean, this sets the game plan though, right? Like this is a creature that just cannot be blocked. It cannot block, unless there's a removal. For Pedro, I think they might, like none of the creatures are gonna attack except the Voidwalker, potentially. And that might do it. Like Pedro might have to do like not a desperation attack, but might have to attack with both frogs to see what happens. Might have to discard a couple of cards here, but then there could be like a huge backswing. It's getting a little trickier.
You think eventually there's going to be a position where Pedro just like sends both frogs into the air and then basically goes Hail Mary, trying to find 2 relevant cards from the top?
Yeah, like he just can't sit back, chilling on those 2 frogs when there's a Doughty Voidwalker, right?
And also, like, even if you just like decide to attack with a single frog, then you also can't block the grief all of a sudden anymore. Then you take like 6 damage.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a little awkward.
Yeah, and that also explains the long pause on Pedro's side, right? You got a lot of Portuguese fans in chat. Also a lot of Portuguese people playing here. And if you're considering Impact for a vacation like I did last year, very much recommended. Go down to Portugal afterwards, check out Porto, check out Lisbon, then fly back from there. I did it. One of the best trips I ever did.
Oh, sick.
Okay, taking you down to 7 life, says Pablo. And got the old frame frog added to the board. Doesn't really do all that much, I guess. It's still another blocker. Yeah, I feel like this is almost lights out for Pedro at this point. This must be the... Okay, I guess it's gonna be the Brainstorm trying to find 2 removal spells. But... yeah, but if you Brainstorm, like, you run into a Bowmaster. It hurts. Everything you do hurts. Why is this like being a teenager all over again?
Yeah, Pablo's clearly seeing the line. It's...
Yeah, I think Pedro's just like hanging in there.
I think he think he can Alpha Strike next turn, like turn everything sideways.
Yeah. Like the only out Pedro still has is like Damnation from the top. And that doesn't look like a Damnation to me.
Yeah, this is really intense.
Looks like we're about to crown a winner here.
Oh yeah, and there's even the Brazen Borrower way up there. We haven't even mentioned that card.
Oh yeah, on an adventure for Pablo. So even Damnation wouldn't do it. This is pretty rough. Okay. Okay, passing here. And is this... Yeah, we flashed this one in, and that's pretty much it. Like, you can give Pedro 3 cards from his entire deck if he wants to have that. I think he still doesn't take it by now.
Wow, and he just top deck another petty theft. Oh,
That card is so
wow.
good, right? Yeah. Taking out one of your frogs, don't even need to. And I think that's gonna be the concession, right? As soon as those creatures turn sideways.
Yeah, everyone in. That's the big final.
Yeah, extension of the hand. Pablo Carrasco takes down Impact Returns,
Oh!
becomes the legacy champion of the main event, qualifies for the ELM just like Pedro Dores does, and takes home 3 Underground Seas first round.
Congratulations, Pablo.
Dude, that's so much work. Like, we had 8 rounds of Swiss that he had to fight through, then 3 more, like 11. When's the last time, have you ever played 11 rounds of high stakes Legacy in your life? No. Have you ever played?
Probably not. Probably not.
I can answer that for
Let's
you.
just say no.
That's pretty hard, dude. I'm so impressed. So here we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to do that. Let's start this. So we're getting ready. Hey, check this out. My name is Julian Knapp. This is Kaiser Rotarix, and this is the podcast that we run every once in a while. Actually, we're recording the next episode on Tuesday, right? That's how it's gonna work. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I hope, actually, honestly, I not only hope that you learned something, that you had fun. Maybe it's also gonna inspire you to come here at some point, because this is a lot of work people do. This is the city of Naron, literally giving us all of this gym to work with, and there's so much passion, so much. Like, I talked to a lot of people that they tell me they work here because they want this to happen, because they want to put something on. And that's why we came here in the first place, right?
Yeah, if you could rate this, if I would rate this event, it would probably be like a 9 out of 10. And it's only
so you're saying there's something missing? Okay, tell me about. Okay, anyway,
the only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is because it only happens once per year.
See, maybe we might be working on that. We will see about that. But everybody, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. The deck lists, the VODs, all of this are going to be out on our socials. Follow us on @ImpactReturns on Instagram, as well as ImpactReturns1 with the number on Twitter. Check us out on, I guess you're already watching us on Twitch, right? That's not going to be some weird back alley stream that's going to be restreamed. But you can also find us on YouTube. I don't know who else to thank. We got the sponsors. We got Ultimate Guard making all of this work. Yesterday for the Spanish Legacy Nationals, we also had mtgplaymats.com. We have the City of Naron once again.
Thank you
all
so
of
much,
the players coming here, putting up this record event. All of the viewers coming into this, right? People, seriously, like, we put on the stream for you guys, and it's great to see when people come in, they enjoy this. And we're just having like a really, really great time. What's over there?
Oh no, all the viewers.
Yeah, all of you guys over there, right?
Yeah, I just tried to point at every single viewer.
Kai, what are we going to be up to for the rest of the day? Actually, tomorrow there's going to be the big modern main event. We're not going to cast that. That's going to be a Spanish team casting that. We're going to be... there's so much other stuff to do.
So you better learn some Spanish. You got a couple of hours left.
Hola, a mí me gusta comer paella. See, that's how we do it. Anybody, thank you so much. The socials are also going to be tweeted here. And I think that's going to be it for us today. We learned that Blue-Black Scam still a pretty good deck, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty
Let's see whether that's
going
to stick around. Like, Wizards got to have an eye on this, right?
That Grief card, man, I don't know. I think it's really playable in Legacy, I don't know.
You think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's going to be... Like, we're saying that now. Give it a couple of weeks. I'm not sure how playable it's going to be in a couple of weeks from now. We will see.
We will see.
Thank you so much. Naron, Galicia, Spain.
Love
for
you guys.
tuning in. See you again, at the very least, next year and all around the world.